Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am here to do a little, it's only one bag full, little mini haul with you, just some stuff that I've been gathering for back to school and some of the stuff that I bought in my previous video. So some of the items you guys have already seen because I did show you in the car when I was done shopping. But I thought I'd go through all of it and the other items that I didn't show you and tell you guys, where I got them, the price, and what I'm going to use them for. So let's get started. Let's see, first we have Target. So I bought some flashcards, which I'm not going to show you, but then at Target, funny story, I bought these twice. Didn't realize I'd bought them the first time when I bought them the second time. And I know that some other people on YouTube have also bought these, so I'm sure you guys have seen them before. They're just the little apple shaped binder clips. I thought they were cute, come in a 4-pack. They're $1 at the Target Dollar Spots Playground, Bullseye's Playground, whatever it is now. So here's one package that I bought on this trip. So that's what I bought on that trip. Let's see what's next. Oh, it's a long receipt for 5 items. So, oh, nope. 5 items? Nope, 2 items. So I showed you this in the video, but I'll show you again. So the first item I bought was this memo pad spiral block thing. They aren't sticky on the, portion where like a post-it note would be sticky, but they're still, nice and helpful. My mentor teacher actually has one of these, and she just writes, like little notes that kids need to take somewhere on these, so I like it. I mainly bought it because it was, how much was it? It was $2, so I thought that was a good deal, and I really like the colors, because normally they're like really bright primary colors, but I like the pastel, so blue, purple, orange, and pink, so that's why I bought this. So, oh geez, okay, there it is. So I bought that, and then I bought that teal colored notebook that I showed you guys in the video as well, and that was only 50 cents. So that is what I bought on that trip to Office Depot and Office Max. Okay. Hobby Lobby. So I showed you guys these as well, but I bought these thank you cards. So I'm just kind of stocking up on thank you cards if I see them and they're cute and they're cheap, because I want to be able to have lots of thank you cards on hand for, student gifts, student whatever they give me, parent gifts, teacher gifts. Especially for interviews though, when I start doing that in the spring. So I want to have these on hand. This is a pack of 20 and it was $3.99, so I thought that was a pretty good deal, and I really like the pattern. It's cute. I want to have multiple different patterns just so when I'm done with an interview or when a student gives me a gift, I don't have all thank you cards with like cute flowers on it, but I can have some nice simple, plain, elegant looking ones for important interviews, so I can have those. But when a girl or a teacher friend maybe gives me a present, these are really good for that. They're cute and they're fun, but they're still they get the message across, and I like them, and they were $4, so that's one thing. And then so I'm already using one of these, but I showed you guys these in the video last time. So these binder clips, they say awesome, and then the one that I took was bluish teal colored, and it said today on it, and I have it in my planner, my Erin Condren planner, holding it till like the calendar spread, so that way I can just flip open to August and see the full calendar spread. So there's a 4-pack, and then they were $1.99, so I picked those up, and that is all I got at Hobby Lobby on that trip. Oh, Shadow, what's that? Now for Michael's, I bought, what did I buy? Michaels. It was just the other day. Oh, Shadow, what did I... Oh, was it this? Nope, that's Target. Uh-oh. When you don't remember what you bought. Oh, you know what? It was a package of... stickers, which I can show you guys later, but it was a package of stickers that I'm using for my planner. So they were holiday stickers. I think that's what this was. I don't remember. If I figure that one out, I will show you later, I guess. We will see. Which is sad because it was a few days ago. Okay, another Office Depot Office Max. So I bought Skittles and scissors. So that's really not exciting. Don't even know why I kept that receipt. Oh, another Office Depot. So I bought 3 more of those one subject college ruled spiral notebooks that they have, just like the teal one that I showed you. So I just bought one in like red, orange, and red, green, and blue, I think. So those aren't very special. They were 75 cents each. Nope, they were 50 cents each. And then I bought 3 of these clear rulers. These are, I really don't need these. These are mainly for if, you know, students need them, and, you know, I just have some extra school supplies that I wanted to grab while it was cheap. So, you know, if there's one student where I notice that they don't have certain supplies, I can say, oh, here you go, you know, hang on to it, it's all yours now. And they were only 75 cents each. So that's what I bought there. I don't know what that is. Oh, and then I bought just a folder, like it was a purple, what is it? It's like not vinyl, but not the paper notebooks, not the like vinyl, but it's the ones that hold up really good, the folders, with prongs in it. I'm tired. It is 8:49 and I'm obviously not hanging in there well. Another Michaels trip. So I bought some planner post-its, not very special. Oh, and then I bought a bunch of cardstock. So the packs of cardstock were 10 sheets of each color in the package, so 50 sheets per pack, for $2 a piece. So it was 5 packages for 10, so I bought 5 packages. So I just got different colors like across the spectrum. Tried to get some pastels, some, you know, primary colors, some blues and greens for, you know, boys or whatever, just so I have a wide variety of colors. So I bought those, and that is it on that one, actually. Okay, what is this one? So this is Walmart. I'm actually pretty excited about this one. So I bought, the only thing school related that I bought at Walmart was this money bucket, and I just thought it would be good because I'm going to be teaching math for my student teaching. Like, that'll be my primary area because that's what I'll be submitting for the Ed TPA. So it's got, I already opened up all the little packages. So it's got coins in it. There's 550 pieces total. So it has a bunch of each coin type, and then it's got probably 50 sheets of each dollar, you know, bill amount. So, you know, $50, $1, $20, $100, $10. So they have all those. I probably will hopefully use this for math, maybe like a math game or something. Be good for, you know, place value or just a fun game. So I bought this. It was only, so this was $4.50, and that's why I bought it, because I thought it was a pretty good deal and I thought it would come in handy and I liked it. So I got this. Okay, and I think we're down to just some Target dollar spot stuff. Yeah, so I found these guys in the Target dollar spot, Bullseye's Playground, just a couple days ago. So I bought 2 multiplication ones. The actual cards look kind of like that. So this little Expo marker pen, you can write the answers on it, and they're two-sided. So they're practice cards. So I got 2 multiplication, 2 division ones, which look kind of like that. This one I took the paper out of already. And then 2 money ones. Now, I thought the money ones would go well with, you know, the money bucket that I bought, but I'm teaching 4th grade this semester, and it's just that, like, the front of it, it says, you know, X out money that adds up to 250, so I mean, it would be good practice for something, but maybe not necessarily for 4th graders, because I think 2nd grade's the only grade with an actual standard specifically focused on money. So, but I bought 2 of them. I thought that they might work well, but I'm not sure. They might be just a little too young for my students. And then, like, on the back of one of them, it says draw or write something that might cost $2.50, and it leaves a blank space. So it's a little more juvenile than I was hoping for, but you know, they were only $1 a piece, and maybe one day I'll be teaching like a 2nd grade class. So I got those. And then this is also from the Target dollar spot for $1, and it just says live, love, teach. I just thought that was cute. And see, here's the funny part. I also bought another package of the Apple binder clips without knowing that I had already purchased one. So here's my 2nd package. So there's that. I don't think that there's anything else big that I bought this summer for student teaching. I have some other stuff I want to show you guys though. I made a name tag for my desk that I should have while I'm student teaching, and I'm working on lesson planning and Ed TPA prep, so that is going to be coming up in this video, so hang in there. Hey guys, so let's continue with the video. Hey guys, so I have been working on Ed TPA stuff. So here's my Ed TPA sheet that I've been working on typing up and filling out. That's one of them. And then of course here's YouTube, been watching some videos, some Pocket Full of Primary, some Lettered Classroom, Putting Forth Effort, all wonderful channels. So this is what I've been doing. So this right here is one of the folders that I bought in my mini haul, I guess you could say. I didn't show you guys just because I'm already using it. So it's just one of those really cheap paper ones. It's like 15 cents and it's got the prongs though. So what I'm using this for, I just have my name on it. And then what I did is, this is the Ed TPA Elementary Mathematics for Washington State Assessment Handbook for this year. So it's like 60 pages, so I printed it out and put it in here with the prongs. Just hole punched it, popped it in, nice and simple. So I have the whole handbook handy. So I've already gone through and pretty much read the whole thing cover to cover, and gone through and highlighted the specific things and started using it. Here are all the rubrics, etc. Here's, you know, some more highlighting that I've done. So that's what's in here. And I will go through this whole entire thing with you guys in a specific video just about the Ed TPA, because that's like an hour-long video probably. So there's that. That's what I've been working with earlier today. And then here, this is the folder that I was trying to describe in my video earlier and failing at doing so. This is the purple folder. It's that plasticky stuff. I still don't know what to call it. Of course, I just threw away the sticker. Whatever. So this is like 50 cents at Office Depot, I think. So this says my name again. I just pop those on there with the label maker. So this is just kind of like a mini like lesson planning book that I have. So that way it's separate from my big binder that I've shown you guys before, but it's, you know, easier to get to, quick access. And I just made these my own, or myself. So I've got my times and subjects along the side, and then days going downwards vertically. So I just wrote the dates in with my hand and have started planning out some stuff. I had like specific objectives in here earlier, but I ended up having to erase them because I realized when I got an email from my teacher that that is not what we're doing exactly, so I had to erase all that. So, c'est la vie, such is life. I will live. But here's this, and I've got it all the way through December when I'm done student teaching. I actually used some of the cardstock that I bought from Michael's to print this on, so there were 2 packages that came with white cardstock. So I don't know if you can tell, but one of them is like lighter, and then one of them is like a creamier color, but whatever, doesn't bother me. So I printed that on there. My only concern is that I did kind of jump ahead, and hopefully my times haven't changed much. If they do, I'll probably just either ignore them or like use a label maker to cover those up. So there's that. That's important. Also, another thing I did buy that I forgot to show you are the Friction, what are they? They're Pilot Friction pencils, even though they're pens. 0.7 millimeters. There's 24 colors in this package. I believe it was Coastal Classroom who had this package and linked it, and so I used her link and I purchased it. It was, I want to say, like 24 bucks, so it wasn't cheap, but I love these. They work fantastic. Yeah, so here's those. They are all in like Japanese, which, you know, whatever, I'll take it. So there's those. These have been amazing, especially for writing in here and for, you know, writing even like little notes that I want to write to myself, you know, or like, hey, do this. I can go through and just put it on here. Like, let's see. Of course, I covered them. It's like, print this, and so, you know, when I'm done printing it, I can erase it because I don't need it in there. So there's that, and then I also have, here's my label maker. I also have my planner, and here's that binder clip that I was telling you guys about. So here's my planner, and I will also go through this in probably my EdTPA video. So that is all that I'm working on right now. Hey everyone, so I want to go over with you how I'm doing my lesson plans. So I have my computer set up here with my actual lesson plan where I'll be typing it up and showing you. And then over here I have the actual Engage New York or Eureka Math lesson plan that I'm going off of. And those you can find online. And then I also have the Washington State 4th grade mathematics standards. So while I'm doing this, I'll be referencing those. I did already do a video of most of this lesson yesterday, and the new program that I'm using, it did not save it, so we're going to go with the shortened version, which is probably best anyway, and I'm sure I was rambling a bunch yesterday, so today's video should be better. Okay. So what's already filled in is what I did in the video yesterday. What's highlighted is stuff that I still need to do, that way I don't forget to do it, and then this stuff I still need to do as well. So this is what I did yesterday in the video, but I'll walk through it again real quick, which should save a lot of time, so that's good. So this is my Whitworth lesson plan template that my school actually gives us for the EdTPA. So they give us this. It's a little bit different than the one that they give us our previous, 3 or 4 years, I guess 2 or 3 years that we're in the ed program, because it's specific for the EdTPA, but it's the same idea. So what it has is it has general information about myself and the lesson that is being taught. It has a lesson plan sequence area where you write a little bit about where, how it connects to the lesson coming before it and the lesson coming next. The central focus of the lesson, the Common Core State or content standards, academic language demands, so function, vocabulary, discourse, and or syntax. This table is kind of split right now because of the page break, but it's the content and academic language objectives and assessment, so that's here. The required background knowledge and or previous learning for the lesson. A differentiation table. Materials, both instructional and technological. And then this is the actual lesson. And for the Ed TPA, we're supposed to have this fully scripted out, so that way we know what we're going to say. It's kind of hard just because it's not natural, but the reason they have us do it is because we only have, for mathematics, we have 15 minutes of film to show as much of our lesson as we can that covers as many of the 6 important points of the Ed TPA as possible. So we really don't have very much time, and that's why we're supposed to script out the important parts of the lesson. We don't have to have all of it scripted out, but the Engage New York lesson plans actually come scripted. So what I do is I take this and I alter it a little bit to my liking, and then I just go ahead and basically retype it in my lesson plan template. So like this is what I did yesterday. This is the introduction. So there's that. And then finally it has the research base that we're using for this instructional approach. So I'm going to walk you through what I did. So I just put in my basic information, my name, the subject being mathematics, my 4th grade, the date I leave blank, and I'm actually going to highlight, I don't know if I can highlight this area. No, hold on, I'm going to highlight, put some spaces here and then highlight it just so I know that when I actually go to teach this, I need to put the date in, but obviously I don't know what date I'm going to be teaching this yet, so there's no point for me to really put that in there. And then how I got my lesson topic and or title is I read the objective that's over here. So it's use place value understanding to fluently add multi-digit whole numbers using the standard addition algorithm, and apply the algorithm to solve word problems using tape diagrams. So I took that and I just kind of reworded it and made it, a lot shorter, and I just said, well, this is multi-digit addition using the standard algorithm. And actually what I do, just because this isn't going to tell me, which lesson this is, because this is a specific lesson, this is lesson 11, and that's important for me to know. So what I do, and I actually need to do it, so it's perfect, I can show you, is I save this, and I actually have a flash drive, I'll save this on later, but I can put it in here for now. I don't want it in OneDrive, but whatever. And I actually say math lesson 11. So that way, when I need to print this off for myself to actually teach it, oh no, save the copy. It's obvious what it is. Sorry guys, let me just throw this on my desktop. There we go. Okay, so it's labeled as math lesson 11. But this is just so I know, what am I actually teaching in this lesson. Okay, so there's that. Now I am going to skip the parts that I skipped yesterday because those are a little bit harder, but I will come back to those. So we're going to jump down to central focus. So the central focus is basically this objective. The only thing I change is that I reword this portion to it being more along the lines of students can do blah blah blah. So it's literally the same thing, it's just a little bit different beginning, and it's not called an objective on our lesson plan template. Okay, now for the standards are right here on the Engage New York website. So I went ahead and typed in those headings here, and then all I did was I went over to my Washington State Common Core Math Standards for 4th grade, and I found those and I typed them out here. We have to actually type up the whole standard, but I don't put in any of the, for example, here's this, so I just do this part that's here, because that's all that's really important. So I got those, and then for my academic language standard, we are told that this speaking and listening standard number 1 is works really well for math lessons, just because it's engaging collaboratively in a range of collaborative discussions with diverse partners on grade 4 topics and texts, building on others' ideas and expressing their own clearly. So it's general, but it still gets the point across, and it's really all that we need. So there's that. I'm going to skip this section real quick. I'm going to jump down here. So the content and academic language objectives. So there's 2 ways that I write it. This way is scripted out by our school, and we just fill in a few blanks. So the school has, student will be able to do blank as evidenced by blank with blank standard of performance. So what I did was I said that, scroll back up here, the student will be able to add multi-digit whole numbers using the standard algorithm as evidenced by completing, now this exit ticket comes with this curriculum, so they're going to complete the exit ticket at the end of the lesson, and to show me that they're meeting standard or are above standard, they're going to get a 90% or better on that exit ticket. And then I just rewrote it down here as an I can statement, and this is what I'll actually write on the whiteboard for students to read out loud and refer back to when they are assessing their own progress towards meeting it. So it just says I can add multi-digit whole numbers using the standard algorithm. So it's a little bit simpler, but it still gets the point across. This is more student-friendly wording, I would say. Okay, and then this side of the table is my assessment. So of course I assess students' understanding and their how well they're doing on more than just this exit ticket. But this exit ticket provides me an easy way to grade, this is how they're doing on paper. So this exit ticket, let me find it real quick in here for you. It is right here. So what I do is, this is kind of a general breakdown that I have. I try and make the exit tickets, if they break down into 10 points, that's great. If they don't, I can always change, this number and these ranges. But this one I found that it'll work really well with 10 points because I can do 2 points here, 2 points here, 2 points here, and then 4 points for this problem. So that's what I'm going to do for this one. So I will keep it in my 10-point format, my breakdown. So this is just, the meeting standard range, the approaching standard range, below standard range, and the reteaching needed standard range. So that's that section for assessment. The differentiation, cultural responsiveness, and/or accommodations for individual differences table, I will not fill out until probably the first week of school, and I'll probably just fill it out as I go with each lesson. But I can't do this because I don't know who my students are, and I don't know what their, what their accommodations are yet, because I haven't met them and I don't know who they are. So this is something that I'll have to save for later as well, but that's not a big deal. Next is the materials, both instructional and technological needs. So the Engage New York lessons actually have materials listed at the heading of most of these sections. So what I do is I just go through and I see what kind of work we're doing together, and I just type out what I'm going to need. So it listed personal whiteboards, so I know that I'm going to need those for the students, but I'm also going to need, the whiteboard markers and erasers. I know that I'm going to project the application problem that we have, which is right up here. I know that I'm going to project that problem, so I'm going to need my overhead projector. That would be a technological need. And then the students, during our concept development, or actually at the end of our concept development, they have problem set time, and so they're going to need to, I'm going to need to make sure that they have access to their lesson 11 problem sets. And then I already showed you that I'm going to be using the exit ticket for my assessment, so I need to make sure that I have access to the lesson 11 exit tickets for my students. So this just helps me make sure I know what materials I need prior to teaching this lesson. So that's all listed here. And then this is the meat of the actual lesson. So the introduction I already typed out, and I'm not going to really go through it with you guys just because it's pretty basic. What I do is I take this fluency practice section and the application problem section, and I basically combine those skills into a few different problems, and I type out that information on here, and that's where I have left off. So I do T for me, for teacher, and then I put the actions that I'm going to do in parentheses, and then things I'll actually be saying out loud, not in parentheses. And then student responses are marked with an S, and they're indented just so I can see it a little better. When I actually go to teach these, I normally review my lessons beforehand, and I'll highlight what I need to do in like a yellow highlighter, and I'll highlight what I need to say in like a blue highlighter. As I said before, I still suck at following a script, but it's something that we need to have prepared to, and ready to do for the EdTPA, because it's being filmed and we can't cut the video and edit it, so it has to be perfectly timed. So that's why we teach so many lessons and we film them all, but I still need to know that I have it as prepared as possible. And I'm doing this ahead of time while it's still summer for me, because I don't see the point of waiting until we're back in school to do this, the night before, because that would stink. So this is where I left off, was typing up the application problem. So I'm going to finish that up with you guys. So the application problem was basically asking students to add up or round these three numbers to the nearest 1,000 and then to the nearest 10,000 and see which rounding practice came out to the closest number. So I already said, okay, what if we do this? What if we round it to this and add those together? And then I'm going to tell them, okay, well, the actual total of those three numbers together is, and I don't know what it is, so let me pull this up real quick. So 12,490 plus 14,295 plus 11,116. Add that, so 37,901. 37,901. Okay. So I would say, well, the actual total was 37,901. So which of our rounding methods got us closest to the actual total? And the students would, of course, respond with rounding to the nearest, the nearest 1,000. Okay? And that's basically it for my application problem. So that's done. At this point, let me check my lesson plan real quick. Okay, so at this point, this is a little portion for the EdTPA that I need to add in here. I need to communicate the purpose and the learning target to my students and make sure that they have communicated their understanding of it. So I am going to write the learning target, which is up here. I can add multi-digit whole numbers using the standard algorithm. So I would say write the learning target on the whiteboard, which I already told you what it is, and I would say, can I have a volunteer to read the learning target to the class? Okay? And then the student would read it and say, I can add multi-digit whole numbers using the standard algorithm. So that's all that they would say. Okay, and then I have a part where I say, great, go ahead and tell the person across the table from you what it means to, let's see. So this is where I kind of have to come up with a question or, an action for them to complete where it shows that they have some understanding of what the learning target means. So sometimes I would say, what does it mean to, compare decimal numbers, or follow agreed upon class discussion rules. So it's something where they're talking about the point of the lesson. For this one, I might say, I kind of wanted to do one where I say what you think the standard algorithm is, just because that might be a good point to start our conversation at. So I think that's what I'm going to do. What the standard, I want to make sure I put in addition algorithm is. I'm going to say take 20 seconds and be prepared to share. So I just say be prepared to share. I don't say have one of your partners be prepared to share, because I want all the students to be prepared to share out with the class, meaning that they all need to know what they're talking about. Granted, this is the kind of question where they don't necessarily have to have a right answer because it's open-ended. So that's that. And then I would say, I would just put, wait 20 seconds for students to share with one another. And then I would say, call students back to attention. And then I might ask, can someone share with the class what you and or your partner said? And then I would call on one or two students to share with the class. So that's all I would do here. Okay, so now it's time to jump into the actual main portion of the lesson. So the main portion of the Engage in New York lessons are called concept development. And okay, now now we're going to work on the main portion of the lesson. So that's the concept development section on the Engage New York lesson plan. I'm sorry if you hear jingling. I've got this adorable cat who won't leave me alone. And I'm leaving tomorrow to go back to school, and so I have to cuddle with him as much as possible. So if you hear any jingling, that's my kitty. He's adorable. Maybe I'll pop a picture of him like right here. We'll see. Okay, so I need to go through and see what it is that the Engage New York curriculum is having me do. So it says, problem 1, we're going to renaming once using disks in place value chart. So they want me to project this problem, have my students read it, get out or draw a tape diagram to represent it. Okay, so record that in the tape diagram. What is the unknown? Okay, and then show the hole above the tape diagram using a bracket. Okay. Okay, so that's one of the problems, and then the next problem is renaming in multiple units using the standard algorithm and the place value chart. So they want my students to draw the tape diagram this time, and then draw the disks in the chart. Okay, so that's more of a student-led one. Okay, and then this third problem is having the students do it on their own, or with a partner, I guess, but it's still on their own, so they're doing the whole thing this time. Okay, and then the fourth problem is a word problem with the same idea. And then we jump into the problem set. Okay, so I think I really like how they progressed there, so I think I'm going to keep pretty much exactly what they did. So I'm probably going to fast forward, but I'm basically going to type up this whole section into here, and I will show. Okay, so what I did was a little bit different than what I had originally planned. For these lessons, we're only allowed to have 4 pages. And as you can see, this is page number 4. So I'll zoom out real quick. So this is page number 4, and I only have this much space left, so I decided to really shorten up the last bits of this lesson, mainly because the parts that I'm going to be really worried about recording are the beginning. So it's the intro, the learning target, with the students, talking about that, modeling, and engaging. And so I have all of that basically labeled out as much as I need it to be. So what I did is I took this first problem and I typed that out fully because that's something that'll probably still be in my videos. Problem 2 though may not be, but if it is, it's going to be the same idea as problem 1, so it's just different numbers. So I have those here, and I have a little note saying do this problem with the students just as problem 1. And then in the engage section, I put these 2 problems because those are ones where the students are doing more of the problem on their own rather than me helping them. So there's that, and then they have their problem set that they're going to work on for 10 minutes. I'm going to actually type that real quick. 10 minutes, just so I don't forget. And then we do that. I guess I need to say, teacher, go over problem set as a class, because I need to do that. So we do that, and then we're going into the closure section, where I just have students reread the learning target again, and then do the exit ticket. So that is the main part of the lesson, and it is now done. So that is done. Now we're going to go back up to, let's see, we'll do the lesson plan sequence. So I'm going to unhighlight this. So as this prompt says, it says, how does this lesson connect to what came before and preview what is coming up? So let me just change a little formatting here. I'm going to delete this prompt because I don't need it, obviously. So I just have a really generic, I don't know, I guess you could say statement that I make. So it says, in the previous lesson, students used, or actually I'm going to just, I don't know yet because that's a different one. So I'm going to go up to lesson 10 and see what we did. So in lesson 10, it was using place value understanding to round multi-digit numbers. Okay, perfect. So students used place value understanding to round multi-digit numbers. Okay, so this connects to the current lesson because students will need to be able to round multi-digit numbers let's see, multi-digit numbers to complete the addition problems. I think that'll work. It's not my strongest connection, but I think I'm going to go with it. Okay, and then I'm going to say in the, oh my gosh, in the following lesson, students will, I have to go find lesson 12, lesson 11. So in this next one, it's going to say solve multi-step word problems using the standard algorithm. Okay, students will solve multi-step word problems using the standard addition algorithm. This current lesson develops the skill of using the standard addition algorithm and modeling with tape diagrams, and these skills will be required for the next lesson. So I just type up a little blurb like that. So that's done. Okay, now let's see. This section is hard. So let's see. So I'm going to go through the lesson 11 lesson plan real quick and just see if I can find any words that might need to be vocabulary for this lesson, such as like digits, mixed number, place value chart, number sentence. So let's see. I think we're okay here. Vertical number, I don't say that out loud. I might put number line, just because that might be something I need to talk about. Okay. I think we're good there. Let's see, here is a multiplication, or I'm going to say maybe multiplication sentence. That's something students might not quite understand. Make sure I put unit form. Okay, now we're down here. I'm going to put estimate just to make sure that's clear. Okay, place value chart. Oops. Tape diagram. Variable. I hope there's not many more, but we will see. Bundle would be a good one. Basically, it's any technical terms. Obviously, I'm also going to need standard algorithm, because it's not exactly 4th grade terminology. Yeah, they have algorithm here. They have regrouping. I'm going to put that. I'm going to put bundle / regrouping. So those kind of go together. Okay. Almost through, I think. Okay, so I think that is all the vocabulary I need to worry about. So, let's see. I'm going to do I think I'm actually just going to list the vocabulary, and then I'm going to talk to my teacher later on and see what she exactly wants us to do. Just because, again, like I said, we only get 4 pages, and so typing out these definitions is not going to work super well for me. Oops. And I'd rather not do that for each of my lessons either, because that's, very time consuming. So I'm going to go through and just list them for right now. Because really all I need to know is that these are terms that may need to be explicitly taught. And as long as I know what they are, I should be okay. So there's that. I'm also not going to fill in this chart just because we haven't really, I'm not 100% sure on it yet. It's something I'm going to talk with my teacher more about before I do it. If I figure it out before I go back to school, I'll let you guys know, but until then, I'm not going to fill it out. Okay, so I was told not to worry about discourse, and so I'm going to do syntax. So the syntax is, how do I want to say this? Syntax are the things like greater than, less than, but it's so I'm going to put I'm going to put maybe addition algorithm, and I think that might be all I put here, just because, again, this is an area I don't feel super strong in. It's a difficult area. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to leave, let's see. I'm going to say function is add. So I'm getting these from here. So add, apply. I'm going to change this actually to numbers applying. So I change it to by applying. And that's what my functions are going to be. So that is pretty much done, but that's an area that I don't feel very strong in, so I'm going to highlight it just to make sure that my teacher agrees with me. So that is done. I'm going to go ahead and take out some of this. So background knowledge and required schema. So I just put here things like in the previous lesson, students, let's see, what did they do? They used place value understanding to round multi-digit numbers. Okay, students used I'm going to say applied place value understanding. Applied place value understanding to round multi-digit numbers. And I might say students will need this skill to complete multiple multi-digit number rounding and addition problems during this lesson. So basically this section is just saying what do students need to know before they can complete this lesson, and I'm just going to say that this is what they need to do, and then I might say students will also need to be able to complete basic addition problems. Because that's, when we're adding these bigger numbers, students still need to know how to do basic problems to complete it. So there's that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. I know that there's a research section, but at this point I don't think I'm going to fill that in, just because it's not very hard, but it's one of those where I don't want to just put down anything, because I want to make sure I'm using something that is appropriate and makes sense. So that's another one of those things that I might ask my teacher about when I go back to school. My first class is on the 28th, so coming up here quickly. So that is the main portion of the lesson completed. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm planning on doing my mathematics lessons for at least a good, 2 months worth. So that way they're prepared. I don't have to worry about doing those while I'm actually completing the Ed TPA. They're already typed up for me. I don't need to do this whole lesson plan template for any other subject, just because I'm doing the mathematics Ed TPA. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. So if you guys want to see these highlighted portions, let me know, and I will totally post another video with another lesson plan showing you these completed. So that way it's more of a full lesson plan for you. That'll probably be in a couple weeks, but I can totally do that, especially if you're going into student teaching and you don't know how to do these either. I'm totally willing to help you out there. So, my knowledge is your knowledge. So let me know, and that is all for my lesson plans.